Well, hello everybody, Jamie the Board Game Man, and today we are looking at a game from 1964 from Spare Time Products and Lakeside. It is called Kismet. Now in this game, there is no numbered players. You can have as many players as you want, ages 8 to adult. Now in this game, it's very, very similar to Yahtzee. So if you enjoyed Yahtzee, you will definitely like Kismet, but the only thing different is the scoring combinations are a lot different. And there's 3 different color pips on the dice that come into play as well. So let's head on over to the gamers table where I'm going to show you how to play Kismet. Alright, here we are at the gaming table with Kismet. So here we go. Alright, so here are the components of the game. This is my dice tray. This does not come with the game. This is my personal dice tray. You've seen it probably in many other different episodes regarding dice. You have the instruction booklet right here. You also have your player sheets that look very similar to the Yahtzee, as you can see. And you also have this insert that goes into the box. It has your good old cup that you roll the dice in. It also gives you a pencil and then 5 dice, but it's not just any 5 dice. These dice have 3 different colors on them. As you can see here, we have black pips, green pips, and red pips. All right, you have 5 of those. Now, the object of the game, obviously, is to score the most points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. And you can see right here, as I said in the intro, that it is very, very, very similar to Yahtzee. So if you know how to play Yahtzee, you'll definitely know the basics of how to play this game. What you'll do is you'll roll all 5 dice, okay, like so. You can roll them up to 3 different times to try to get whatever you're trying to go for on the sheet. Okay, now let's go over this score sheet. Now at the very top, the 1 through 6 is identically the same, just like Yahtzee, where you roll 3 6s, you get 18 points. Simple as that. Now, but the difference is the bonus section here. Remember, in Yahtzee, if you score 63 points or more, then you get a straight up 35 points. Not in Kismet. Every single point counts in this top section. As you can see, the bonus right there, if you score, get a little closer here, see if I can get it to focus a little bit here. If you score 63 to 70 points, you get 35. But if you score 71 to 77, you score 55 points, and so on. And then you have 78 or over, you score 75 bonus points. That can be huge. So you just don't want to settle for, okay, I reached 63, I'm good. You really want to try to get the most you can, because another 20 points, if you reach it to 71, can be a big, big deal in this game. The biggest difference is the bottom part. This is the basic section. And then this is called the Kismet section. Now you see the very first one, it says 2 pair, same color. So what you would need to do is you would have to roll maybe 2 black 6s, and let's just say you have 2 red 2s. That would count as 2 pair, same color, I'm sorry. 2 pair, same color would be, let's see here, how can we manage this? Something like 2 red 5s and 2 red 2s. That would be 2 pair of the same color. And what you would do is you would total all of your dice when you score that. So in this case, it would be 15 points. 10, 14, and 15. That would be your point for that. 3 of a kind is just straight up 3 of a kind. It does not matter what color they are. So if you have the 5, 5, and then you have another 5 here, and so on, you just add the total dice, and you would get, in this case, you would get 18 points, okay? So 3 of a kind has nothing to do with the color. The straight. Also, the straight has nothing to do with the color of the dice. That is a large straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is no small straight like you had in Yahtzee. All it has is the large straight. You get up 30 points. A flush is just like in poker, where all 5 dice are the same color. If you manage to do that, then what you would do is you would score straight up 35 points. You don't add up any dice. You get straight up 35 points. The full house is just like poker as well. When you have, let's say, just say something like this, okay? you come up with 3 of one kind and 2 of another kind, then you would get, in this case, you have all the same color. So you would say full house, same color. You would total all the dice. In this case, this would be 19 points. Plus you add 20 more points. And that's what would be your score for full house, same color. But say you got something like this, 2 different colors like so, then you just go into the regular full house, you would total all the dice, and you would add 15 points to it. And that would be like your regular full house. 4 of a kind is pretty much just 4 of a kind. Have something like that. You would have 26 points, and then you would also add 25 more points on top of your 4 of a kind. So that could be a pretty big score as well. The Yarborough. Yarborough is just like chance when it comes to Yahtzee, where if you just roll garbage, you would just add up all the dice, and you would place it into your Yarborough. A Kismet, as you probably guessed, is a Yahtzee in this game. So if you had all 5 the same, all 5 are exactly the same, you would score all the dice. So in this case, it would be 20 points. And then you would add 50 points on top of that. So in this case, you would end up getting 70. Now, the interesting part about the second time you get a Kismet, this is an interesting rule. I had to read this a couple times just to kind of understand what it was saying. What happens is, if you roll a second Kismet, you can use that to any one of your open spaces that are still available on your score sheet. So let's just say, for instance, 4 of a kind was still available. You can use your second Kismet towards your 4 of a kind. So in this case, you would total all dice plus 25. And all of your opponents at the uppermost section in their score sheet that is still blank, they must put a 0. So let's just say one player hadn't done their 1s yet, they would have to put a 0 in there. Let's say another player had 1, 2, and 3 put in there, but they hadn't put anything in the 4s yet. The 4 they would have to put a 0 in there. So not only does the double Kismet help you out to fill out one of your squares, but also all your opponents must 0 out one of theirs, but it's the uppermost square that has not been scored yet. So let's just say all 6 of these were scored, but the player didn't have a 2 pair same color, that would have to be 0. So that's how the double Kismet works. And that, my friends, is Kismet. And like I said, you just score all the Kismet totals, all the basic total together, just like you would in Yahtzee. And whoever has the highest score wins Kismet. Now let's head on over to the game room, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so my final thoughts on Kismet. I actually like this game. Now, obviously, if you do like Yahtzee, you're definitely going to like Kismet. Just because it's so similar. You roll up the 3 times, you try to get a score. But this one's a little more difficult because the colors come into play. It's not just rolling, okay, I got my 5s, that's good to go. Sometimes those colors are really at least on the bottom part. Top part, exactly the same as Yahtzee. 1 through 6, not a change. But it's those bottom, the Kismet part of it, that makes it very difficult. We need a full house with any color, full house with the colors, with 2 different colors. It's really interesting. The 2 pairs, you have to have 2 different colors. And the colors really come into play on that bottom half of the score sheet. I do like the bonus part on the very top. Regular Yahtzee, okay, you get 63 points on the top. Okay, you get a 35-point bonus. This can vary depending on how many points total you have in that top portion. Like in Yahtzee, you kind of go, okay, I'm at 59, I got 2s left. Okay, I only use 2 2s, 63, boom. But you want to try to get those extra 2s in there, or whatever numbers you're trying to roll, because it could go up to that next tier, and you might get a bigger bonus. That is cool, not just settling for, okay, I got 63, I got 35 bonus points. This one, it actually does account for how many points you have in that top portion. Boy, the second Kismet, that is a very interesting, very fascinating rule where you look at your dice after you rolled, and you can actually place them anywhere. Instead of getting that extra 100 points like you would normally do in Yahtzee for a second Yahtzee, this one you actually don't get any more points in the Kismet area, but you look at the rest of your boxes and see where that roll can go into your scoring sheet. And then all other players have to place a 0 in that uppermost section that they have not input anything. So say in the 1s they don't have anything input there, you have to put a 0 there. Or say they have things in 1s, 2s, and 3s, but then they have nothing in 4s, then they got to put a 0 in the 4s. That's huge. That rule is crazy, but crazy good, except if it goes against you. But so it really rewards you for getting a second Kismet in this game, where Yahtzee, all you do is you get an extra 100 points. So I like this. This Kismet is something else. I will definitely be keeping this in my library. I will not be turning it in for credit. This is staying in the library. This is going to be a thumbs up for sure in the library. I'm definitely going to keep it just because I like how different it is, and I'm a big Yahtzee fan. And like I said, if you are a Yahtzee fan, you will like Kismet, and you might like the little different variations, and it's a little harder than regular Yahtzee, like I said earlier, where you just roll the numbers and you got it. With this one, the colors seriously come into play on this. So I don't know if your scores will be higher with this game or not, even though there's a lot of those full houses and the 3 of a kinds that you just add up all the dice, so that can, and then you get plus 15 or plus 30 or plus 20. So it really depends. It really depends on what you're actually rolling. Instead of just, okay, I got a full house, 25 points. Nope. You get the total amount of dice plus the additional amount, whether you got all the colors or it's just a standard one. Good stuff. So if you can find Kismet, you can find it for really cheap. I found this at an estate sale for a couple bucks, and it's really easy to find. You can find these at thrift stores for literally a couple dollars. They do not charge much for this game. Get it if you're a big Yahtzee fan, because you will like Kismet. Well, that's my review on Kismet for the day. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have the game. Let me know if you've never even heard of the game, and maybe you're interested in maybe getting it. That's what I love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and happy gaming!